All right, so everything from yesterday's video, absolutely flawless. We got the shut off. Everything works great. So Joel, I'm gonna link his channel down below. He sent me a throttle cable that we're gonna use for the exhaust brake. I'm gonna put a little handle up here and we're gonna see if this works. And if we get the idea correctly, this is obviously phase one of getting the exhaust brake working. Down the road, like I said, we are gonna move to air. But for now, I just wanna see if the principle works. I need to find a way to get a second one of these, figure out what this is for, and then get a second one of these because I want to be able to also open the turbo as well. We'll see how this works. So we're going to link this. I would like it to run up the shifter. We'll have two switches on the shifter. At some point, like I said, we will convert them to air, which is in the plans. But for now, this is definitely a cool concept. We'll be able to use the exhaust brake while we're towing, which is something that I would absolutely love to be able to do, because this thing, a 12 valve without an exhaust brake, does not have a lot of stopping power, relying on the brakes more than anything. So let's get that swapped out. Went and also sprayed off the truck. If you don't want to do a full car wash, it only costs like $5, I guess, to just pressure wash the whole truck off. So we got all the salt and everything. At some point, since we're going with the stack, I would like to cut this off at some point and like push it back in, because that sticks out way too far. When the old dually fenders were on it, it made a lot more sense, but now it just doesn't. It's like 60 degrees out here today, so I'd like to get some stuff done. And then tomorrow, we're gonna try to see if I can't book anything for Pittsburgh. So Remflex gaskets are on order, and the battery terminals are also on order. So that stuff should be here. I think it was said the 23rd. So we should hear a lot less squealing out of the turbo. From what I'm understanding, it's leaking out the exhaust manifold gaskets and making that high-pitched squealing noise, because there's no metal on either side. There's no metal out the exhaust, and there's no metal in any of the intercooler piping. And the turbo has no shaft play. All right, so we got it set up. I have it up here with a nub on the top so that we can, just for testing purposes, see if this is gonna work. The reason I'm doing this is, one, it was free. Two, people in the comments were saying that I should try this first. Obviously, like I said, this is not a final product. Just want to test it, see how it does while we're driving. I have it put in down here, and I have a guy that's actually going to be making me a new plate on this. I just need to get him the dimensions, and I'm having a hard time trying to find the dimensions for it. So when I can do that, I can get a new plate, re-weld everything, new spring, and then we can start messing with actuators and, you know, wastegate solenoids and whatnot. So it'll be a nice, super clean product at the end of the day. I just really want to try this and see if it's going to work. So basically, I want one that's going to pull it all the way open for like starting, and then one that's going to close it completely for, you know, exhaust brake. And then we'll try to find like a happy median where I want to set it, like probably put a spring somewhere right here so that it never rests completely on exhaust brake until it's actuated. So that's how at some point we're gonna do that. But it's a long time in the future. I'm not gonna bore you too much with it. Everything's coming together good. We just need to get this VGT set up. This is a whole new world to me. I've watched a ton of videos on how these guys are doing it, and there was a lot of cool things I've seen online. There was a few products that were actually similar, if not exactly what I'm doing here. Like, this is pretty much what I've seen online, guys just using the spring pressure to hold the vanes closed, and then exhaust pressure is what's physically opening them. So it was a really cool way of doing it. Is it the best way? Maybe not, but it is definitely very efficient down below is what I'm noticing. It's the up top that I need to figure out, because once it opens fully, it's open, and then the truck just smokes. We'll figure that out. Down below, almost no smoke. Up top, it chiefs a lot. So we just do need to figure that out. No amount of tuning that I do to this engine could take care of that. Like, we do need to figure out, because once it opens completely, it acts like a big turbo, and then it only spools like, it drops down to like 25 pounds. I was able to get it up to 30, 35 before. So just a little bit of tuning on that, and we should have everything down. But like I said, this will just be, this is version 2 of that controller. We got done just in time. It started raining, and also it does work. So that's cool. Let's see how permanent it is. This setup here, this has been really good. So I'm gonna go drive it and see how it sounds in town. But like I said, it literally just started raining, so we got done at the right time. I gotta go to Home Depot, get oil, and I gotta go to Tractor Supply and get some pellets. And like I said, the account rebuild has started. We are doing fantastic, because we are think I woke up this morning, $2,200 got deposited this morning. Paid the fuel bill, paying a bunch of shit, so we'll get her back up there. No, nothing to stress about. All right, we're gonna see if it works. Oh, there we go. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of effort, and that's what I tried to explain to people, but we're gonna see if we can't get it to work like that. Yeah, it's not working the way that people were saying it should work. Putting a cable on that, a choke cable would have been damn near impossible. A throttle cable is a lot smoother, so we'll see how it does in town. That's a lot of effort. That is a lot of effort and a lot of extra stuff to do. And to get that thing to fucking let loose is not just for an exhaust brake. I couldn't imagine holding that the whole way down the mountain. It works great in idle. When you're accelerating and there's pressure on it, it is so hard to pull. So we'll go through town here. I don't know if you guys can hear it. There we go. Getting it to kick out some days, I can see it, like sometimes it does like to stick. We're getting the hang of it, you know, people ask you, you know, people might think it's a waste of time, but at the end of the day, it's something to do that keeps you busy and keeps you out of trouble. And it's nice learning new things. If you're afraid to learn new things, you're not gonna get very far in life. So enjoy what you got. When it actually works though, it stops pretty dang well. But I can see my hands getting cut up just from trying to pull on this thing. So at the end of the day, does it work? Slightly. Does it work? It's not very consistent at all. Like the shutoff was. That was very consistent. You know, on the bright side, we do have a truck that shuts off 100% of the time now. So we have a fully functioning, working fuel shutoff. For the first time in like 2 years, it doesn't need to be messed with. It's done. It's complete. Happy with it. Now, the last thing to figure out, besides the 2 repairs I need to do, is literally this VGT controller. So I can focus all my efforts on that. And I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to create a really cool project. And then before that gets done, though, we are going to do the stack at some point. Once it's that turn, what do you call it? It's like a Y pipe, but it has 2 valves in it. So you can actually switch to the back or use the stack. So kind of nice. Well, Walmart's not open. I went to come and get oil, and apparently somebody lit the toy section on fire last night. So no Walmart. Guess we got to go to Home Depot. If you want to save money on oil and other BS, go to Home Depot instead of AutoZone. Just bought 6 things of pellets. We got coolant and a funnel. Home Depot keeps selling out of oil for some reason, and Walmart's closed due to a fire. So I don't even know. Yeah, this exhaust brake, that cable, like I said, I tried telling so many people that a cable was not going to work, and it didn't matter. People kept saying, hey, get a cable for the exhaust brake. It does not work. It works very, very shittily. So there's a reason that there's no reason to do it right the first time. You want to do it, like, you want to give it a rough draft the first time. Like, I have it here. I put hose clamps on it so that it can be strong and it's not going to go anywhere. You pull on it, you know, you can get it to go a little bit, but it's like once it's under pressure, it is very hard to pull. So that sucks. So we will have to start looking into the route of air. A couple more months. She's mine. Got the bumper. Need to go down to the shop and grab a hose clamp because I found out why the exhaust brake stopped working. So we're gonna go mount that a little bit better and go from there. But let's see how nicely this thing starts. Look at that. All right, so that's taken care of. We got the pellets dropped off and put a hose clamp up there because hose clamps work way better than zip ties. So hopefully we have a good working exhaust brake now, which actually the exhaust brake is on. There we are at white truck. We're gonna put the bumper back on. So we'll get these bolts out right here and then throw it on so it doesn't look as bad. It'll also be one of those things we clean. So it is raining right now pretty good, so there we go. Pull that out. Get this side here. I don't know how tight we'll make them. Oh, wrong way. I don't know how tight we're gonna make them, but you know, just enough that it can at least be on there. Okay, bumper is on it. Rain's gonna hopefully clean it up a little bit, you know. At least it's not covered in salt like this one was, but there was no point in washing this today because it's raining now. So a good old drive in the rain. I fixed the exhaust brake cable and it still sucks. Like I said, this is just for handle purposes, this top nub here. Without that, you would like literally cut your fingers off trying to pull this thing. It's not worth it. Doesn't work. We're gonna start looking for parts to order. We're gonna have to do some welding, and we'll get both wastegate solenoids in the old Amazon cart and a little reserve tank for them. All right, it is 4:10 in the morning. All right, now if you guys remember, I told you guys in the past that I was going to torture test this 12 valve. Like, I am literally going to torture test this thing, and I feel like I've done that. I'm running like 17, 18 degrees of timing. I'm running a VGT turbo that has, you know, astronomical drive pressure. I put I hate that thing. I put head studs in it. I did, you know, I ran it at like 240 some degrees coolant temperature. I've run it at like 17, 1800 degrees EGTs, things that people told me that just were not physically possible, you can't do. And I did them just to see how durable a 12 valve is. Like, it's cheap, and I got away with everything that I did with this engine. This thing's doing very well, I'm gonna say that. I'm pulling 3 cars across the country. I used to do that, now I'm local home every day. But it just goes to show you, a $1,500 engine, and I've gotten over 2 years worth of use out of it. I put it in December of 2019, and here we are in February of 2022, over 2 years later. And it just does. The engine has like 320 some thousand miles on it. The truck has like 556 or something like that. But even still, it just does it. So maybe we'll get 400,000 or 500,000 miles out of it. We'll see. Maybe it'll blow up tomorrow. Maybe it'll blow up today. Who knows? I will show you what it does start like, because I haven't started it yet. I'll show you what it starts like when it's actually like plugged in overnight. Every day it starts like that. If you don't plug it in, it won't start like that. All right, we're hooked up. That didn't take much effort at all. When there's no cars on this thing is so easy to load. So just grab our straps real quick, get her hooked up, and we are good to go. So we're cruising along. We got about 3 hours left, and 20 mile an hour to 25 mile an hour headwinds literally coming right at us. Well, it's gonna be a trip. On the way back, hopefully it's still as windy, because then it would help us. It's not even 7 o'clock in the morning yet. Today has been super weird. It started off 55, 60 degrees where I was at this morning, and it's 27 degrees now, snowing randomly, raining randomly, back and forth, salt everywhere, then it's clear. So I don't know what the deal is, but it doesn't really bother me all that much. I kind of like the cold more than I like the warm. Like on weekends, it's nice when it's like 60 degrees, but during the weekday, I would much rather work in the cold all day. Like that's just my thinking on it. I like it. The truck runs better in the cold. So wintertime is definitely my favorite. I hate the salt, but it's like, it's just one of those things that is part of it. All right, so we got here a little early. Got here at like 7:45, just trying to make sure the GoPro's not gonna turn off. Got here at 7:45, our scheduled appointment is at 8:30, and I can't punch into the office queue until 8. So we are here. I'm not sure which vehicles are mine. Picking up a Toyota Prius, Volkswagen Jetta, and a Hyundai Sonata. I don't see a Prius sitting down here anywhere. So hopefully, easy day. Hopefully they just, you know, do the quick load and whatnot. First one here, like I said, it is snowing. So I don't know how their hours are gonna be affected today, but we should realistically be out of here by 9, be back home probably by 2 o'clock. I have noticed that ever since I started doing local driving, I have not had a single breakdown other than the fuel filters. And had I known it was a fuel filter, man, that would have saved me so much headache and time. But yeah, everything's been good. So we're just gonna keep running basically what we're doing. We're gonna drop in New Jersey, Jersey City, New Jersey on Monday. Should be good. This load pays about $1,050 and it's going from West Mifflin, PA to Jersey City, New Jersey. So not too bad, like almost $3 a mile. Looks like they're already bringing stuff out. One hasn't even been set up yet, but whatever. Oh man. Alright. Let's see the damage. It's not too bad. Bumper and a tail light. Probably wanted an arm and a leg for that. I'll take it. This will be number 1. Cool, so this one runs. Should be a cat under there somewhere. Yep. Let's see if she starts. Ugh, frozen. But he said it should run. She dead as hell. Well, definitely look like an idiot because I can't figure out how to jump start a Toyota Prius, which there's probably a way to do it, but I also can't find a way to pop the trunk. Oh, there's all the parts, so I don't know where the battery's at on this thing. Can't get it started and move it forward. All right, figured it out. Got her close. Cool. Close as I want to get it. Turn this off. Cool. So, never ever touch that orange wire. This would have me concerned because never actually jump started a hybrid itself. It's pretty sketchy. Don't kill yourself. Don't touch that orange wire. Alright, second one coming in hot. This one's strapped down on one side. Oh man, what a day. Didn't want to get super close to this guy here, so I haven't had to use this winch cable since I put it in either. It's the airbag deployment. Ugh. pretty fucked. Wow. A little bit of fender damage. I don't think we'll need the fold outs today, but whatever. All right, it was damn close. Perfect. Get her all strapped down and go get her paperwork and be out of here. All right, here they are. Every one of them strapped down. This one has 3 straps because where the hell else am I gonna put a strap? So now we just need to get out of here. We'll head home. Should be about 3 hours and 20 minutes to the house. So a relatively short day. And then Monday we'll get back into the spirit of things. I do need to put some air in the bags. So besides that, then we need to get back in the spirit of things. We'll be running full time. The main issue with why I'm not running as hard, we actually finally got central dispatch. So we'll have our own central dispatch. This is the first load, first official load that I'm doing with our own central dispatch. So that's nice. So now we don't have to use any third-party companies for central dispatch. So let's get the airbags up and get the hell out of here. All right, so the exhaust brake does work, you know, pretty decently well with the cable. The only downside is it definitely, like, it's a lot of effort to pull on, I'm not gonna lie. I was recommended maybe put something on there to like give me a mechanical advantage on it, like a pulley or something. Maybe I'm not gonna say anything in stone. I'm not gonna like say how we're gonna do this, and then obviously the air is the end goal. But for now, I mean, it does work down hills. It just, you have to really pull up on it. So we'll probably, I'd like to say a couple weeks from now, I'll probably get all the parts ordered to do what I want to do with it. So I'd like to be able to open it all the way and close it all the way. So 2 wastegate solenoids, a couple of airlines, maybe a small air tank or something like that. But I don't know if I should just get a big tank and branch it off, because I do plan on, at some point, the truck, like I can say that, 100% the truck will be on air fully one day. Whether, you know, it's not gonna be anytime soon, but it is 100% going to happen. So I don't know if I should just get a big tank and branch it off, or run a small tank for the exhaust brake. I don't know. Leave your suggestions down below, I guess. So exhaust brake aside, I can climb the mountains, and like, you know, it's sitting around like 25 pounds of boost. So I know there's some adjustments to be made on the VGT, like the control side of that. And like right now it's sitting at 22, but if I pull the lever, it's basically showing me that, you know, there's a lot more boost in it. So I do think on the next version of the VGT controller that I will put a stopper so that it can't, I don't think this engine will ever be able to use the entire range of the VGT. I think like the last probably 7/8, 3/4 of the VGT, I think is gonna be open too much for it, and it'll bleed off too much boost, I think. I do feel like I can put a stopper in there, an adjustable one, so like a bolt with a lock nut on there, and then we can basically adjust it. So every time we adjust fuel, say we have too much boost or not enough, we can adjust it. That's gonna need to happen at some point. Like you can see here, I'm moving it pretty good, and then I'll pull the lever. There was 7 pounds of boost just from pulling the lever. It works, it really does. It is a lot of effort, and there are things that we can do a lot better on it. I can't wait to have the final form, but in the meantime, at least I'm learning some new things about how this all works. All right, well, yet another problem-free trip in the bag. We're about 13 minutes from the lot where we're gonna drop the trailer off. Then I'm gonna head home, go eat, go enjoy some lunch, you know, and just relax for a little bit until we go get Liam later. Probably not gonna mess with anything tonight. Like I said, I'm just gonna drop the trailer off and we should be done. We're back, like I said, on Monday. I will be back full-time, no excuses. We have central dispatch now. I can book whatever, and it's gonna be glorious. Well, the deed is done. The aggressive park job has been made. It's a little windy today. I don't know what it was. This morning it was 60 degrees when I left. It was nice and warm. Now it's like windy and cold. So you guys, I don't know if you can hear the wind noise and whatnot, but I like to kick these at the end of every trip just to make sure that they don't pop off, because they're really good at that. Make sure our strap's held. Yep, everything's still there. Missed that one. Cool. Other than that, everything is, I'm gonna try to like angle it a little bit more, but besides that, I think we're pretty good. See over here, it looks great. I don't know, I'm gonna push it back a little bit and then we'll call it good. All right, so we're gonna play by ear with the weather tomorrow. If it's nice enough, maybe we'll take the white truck out. I have somebody that said that they may be able to tow it. Two things need to work out. One, he needs to be able to tow it, and two, I need to be able to have nice enough weather that we can actually wash it, because it's not going to take like a small wash. It's going to take something extensive. Sunday's looking like it's going to be a little bit nicer, and there's actually sunlight in the forecast, whereas tomorrow it seems like it's all shade. So I have no idea. Trying to get something scheduled to go get that thing washed, because it's going to really need it, and I feel like it would make a really good video anyway. So other than that, back to work. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next video. As always, go check out the affiliate links down in the description. Go buy something if you need headlights, taillights, cab lights, any 12-valve parts, anything like that from Amazon, down in the description. Go check it out. I get a kickback of that. Appreciate you guys. See ya.